All right, we're back on the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. If you're in the market for a boat, go to the superstore in East Tennessee that will save you time, money, and headaches. Why visit 5 different dealers when Madisonville Marine carries just as many brands, makes, and models as 5 different dealers? And they do. Plus, they got the best prices in the area and the best customer service. There's no beating Madisonville Marine. I tell you that every week, and it's true every year. Madisonville Marine. I want to send condolences to the family and friends of VFL legend Paul Neumoff. Passed away on Friday. He joined us on this show in August of 2013. It seems more recent than that, but he was here 5 years ago this month, as colorful a storyteller as the Vols have ever produced. Great defensive player for the Vols in the 60s, and some of the older crowd out there will remember that years ago on Channel 10 he did a sports show with Bob Kessling and Bobby Scott. That was one of the first ones that I remember as a boy. So our thoughts go out to the family and friends of Paul Neumoff. I want to remind you that Year 3 of the Sports Source Kickoff is also coming your way. That's presented by Parkside Cabin Rentals. That'll be kicking off another year on game day of the West Virginia game every Saturday this fall on Fox 43. That'll be the place to start your game day locally. 10:30 a.m. over on Fox 43. Sports Source Kickoff presented by Parkside Grills. And I again want to thank WATE and WTNZ for playing nice and allowing me to have shows on 2 different stations. Unheard of cooperation there. Really appreciate that station and really appreciate my home station here at WATE 6. They're great to us here. Finally, West Virginia had to cancel their fan day today because of hand, foot, and mouth disease. 5 people inside that program have this highly contagious disease, which I didn't realize was still a big thing. Leads to fever, rash, sores, and other symptoms, and it can last for days. Is this something serious for folks to be watching in terms of West Virginia's health 2 weeks out from this game? Ryan, I start with you.
Yeah.
Because
I dealt with it less than a year ago. My son, it's no joke. My son had it, passed it along to both my wife and I. If you haven't had it as a kid, it's very contagious, very easy to contract. So I definitely think it's something that if they start passing it around the locker room, it's at least a concern. It won't knock you out for a couple weeks or anything, but it's something that the fever, the rash, all that stuff, it'll affect you for at least a few days. So it's something to keep an eye on.
So serious enough that if you get this thing, you're going to be playing a football game.
Around the time you get it, yes. It's the kind of thing where the rash can show for a long time, but just the sores and things like that would affect you playing football, only a couple days. So it just depends on how recently you've gotten it.
I thought that was like limited to animals or something. No. I guess I missed something
Hoof
somewhere.
And mouth disease.
Noah Syndergaard,
foot and mouth disease.
The New York Mets pitcher Noah Syndergaard had it this year, so it's
they wouldn't let him travel with the team. They kept him away. So yeah, I think it is something that they need to very much pay attention to and make sure they clean it up as quickly as possible so that others don't get it.
Does Tennessee then maybe, if a guy's playing out there and he's still contagious, does Tennessee bring it back?
Could it pass on to Tennessee?
Could it pass on to Tennessee during a game if somebody's contagious?
Something to watch.
I mean, and if it can't be passed on that way, it's because, they're not making contact, which is probably a negative thing from a standpoint. So
Tennessee didn't make any tackles. So
Tennessee fans will tell you, don't rule out any possibilities.
Yeah.
Well, you would think
was the only thing missing from Tennessee's long list of horrors.
Wouldn't West Virginia have to sit out somebody that had something like that? It seems to me they would. I mean,
well, you would
I
think, but I mean,
the
I don't
NCAA has a rule on communicable diseases.
Here's the thing about it. It's like a lot of viruses. You can pass it around before your symptoms show. So someone could have it in their system, pass it on without really knowing it.
This is like the movie Contagion. That scares me.
It's like a Dustin Hoffman movie.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate all of you being here. Thanks to Mike Strange for joining us as well. Thanks to you for joining us as well. We've got our big season preview next week. It's always a fun show. The last show of the year, the first show of the year is what I look at as the first show for UT game week. So next week is our curtain dropper, and we will look forward to the big season opener next week. See you next Sunday at 11 right here on WATE 6.